Mudrock is a 6-star Juggernaut guard who's only available from headhunting. She was first an enemy in Twilight of Wallemund, and is now one of the best defenders you can get, and practically essential for some stages and even chapters. Mudrock has 4 years of combat experience, most likely coming from her time as a mercenary and when she was a part of the Reunion movement, though she left before Chernobog and Lungmen. She stands at 163 centimeters tall, was born on the 21st of September in Kazdel, and is possibly of the Gargoyle subrace of Sarkaz. In her archive files and promotion record, it's noted that Mudrock used as originum art between the cushioning materials of her suit of armor to keep it upright and as padding, leading many to misjudge her build and strength rather than intimidate. Her visor makes her voice seem heavy but small, and no one from Rhodes' HR could determine what gender she was until she took off the suit. Not even Mudrock's squad knew. Mudrock's art can manipulate stone and soil, as well as having a natural gift that grasps multiple classic and characteristically Lithinian arts and ancient bloodline-tied Sarkaz witchcraft. The witchcraft in particular allows her to get some form of her consciousness into her constructs' bodies. Considering future growth, these ancient bloodborne arts may be a considerable ace in the hole for Mudrock. Of additional note is that sometimes Mudrock refers to her constructs as friends, not bestowing this title from individuality or personal interest. Maybe her arts make her treat her tools with emotion, or maybe from using witchcraft she's grown some affinity to stone and soil. Her relationship with soil is likely far greater than any relationship she has with other people. Those who were infected in Mudrock's group did not have it easy, with Mudrock only being compelled to contact Rhodes Island so that they could be given normal treatment. Mudrock made it clear that she refuses to follow others' inclinations, though she's willing to work for Rhodes Island in exchange for medical treatment for herself and her group. With Rhodes Island's strained contact of Sarkaz mercenaries, HR was planning to get into further details with Mudrock, but because she wanted treatment quickly, Mudrock decided to give up her own position and join Rhodes Island. Even if she had not done that, her people would have still been treated, but it also gives in a glimpse as to why the infected of Lithinian welcomed her so openly. Grani, Folanik, and Suzerain also aided in convincing Mudrock to stay at Rhodes Island. Far before the Reunion movement led their wanton destruction of Chernobog and Lungmen, Mudrock had led her like-minded Sarkaz to Lithinian in an act of rebelling against Reunion's advocacy of violence, hoping to hide in Lithinian. She elected to move between remote cities, as Lithinian's major cities and spires wouldn't welcome them, which over time attracted many of the infected, doubly so due to her benevolence. However, all good things must come to an end, with conflicts growing throughout Lithinian due to Reunion's actions. Mudrock decided to return to Kazdel to establish shelter there, which failed as well. Eventually, she met elite operator Logos in Kazdel, with Mudrock recently receiving disastrous losses during the journey from Lithinian to Kazdel. Logos came to their aid after confirming the Lithinian forces that drove them out were intent on killing every last infected. Mudrock once asked Folanik what happened to Wallemund afterwards. Wallemund was brought to near ruins by a catastrophe in a matter of days, with operator Atro losing her life in the incident, and the Rhodes Island operators coming into conflict with the Mudrock squad at the time. When asked if Mudrock had participated in unforgivable conduct, Folanik hesitated for a moment before denying the statement. As for what happened after, the fires and revolts were extinguished by the nobles calling in the Guermantes, who aided the affected cities and established a passage across the Great Rift, which brought in messengers and supply lines. Roughly 1/5 of Wallemund's people supposedly betrayed Lithinian, with the main instigator, Biederman, having died in the riots, and nobles retracting Wallemund's autonomy. There's a classified section at the end of the promotion record that states that there was an assassin who attempted to kill one of the nobles who came to investigate Wallemund. This would-be assassin was found to be Schultz's son, Thorwald, who was previously believed to have died in a fire. He fled to the Winterwist Mountains and committed suicide by biting his tongue off. On his person was a letter from Biederman telling him to kill someone if they recognize him. Only a few personnel and the doctor are permitted to view this document. Mudrock is confirmed to be infected. She has a cell originum assimilation of 12% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.31 parts per liter. It's noted that she bears clearly visible originum crystals across her body, and that the medical team isn't optimistic about her infection, as well as Mudrock needing regular monitoring and examination. In her character art, drawn by M9 Nokuro, Mudrock wears what can only be described as an EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, suit. She wears a white and black EOD suit with 107 on the sleeves, what looks to be pneumatic tubing that runs across her body, specifically to some joints on her legs, with tubes also running to her hands and under her suit's collar. She has a white hood with a horned gas mask coming out the front, and an orange rectangle with an X below that. The chest rig she wears has what seems to be a light in the middle of her chest and 3 pouches, with one that has some sort of grenade being the only identifiable contents. She holds the head of her hammer with her left hand, with the hammer having a red ribbon and Psalm 37:9, for evil men will be cut off on the head of the hammer. The only part of Mudrock that's visible is her horns. In her voice lines, voiced by Maya Uchida, who also voices Mari in Yuru Yuri, Fernanda Sevian in Scientific Railgun, Irina Shido in High School DxD, Rika Takanashi in Chunibyo, Sharo Kirima in Is the Warrior Rabbit, Kaguya Yamai in Data Live, Iluka Zoljic in Hunter x Hunter, Ranko Kanazaki in Idolmaster, Lily Ruka Ard in Danmachi, Yusa Nishimori and Misa Kurobane in Charlotte, Shino Kuribayashi in Gate, Chisato Mera in Psyche K, Saya in Gintama, Els Siluesca in Isesuma, Red Beryl in Land of the Lustrious, Guild Girl in Goblin Slayer, Melty Q Melamark in Shield Hero, Norman in Promised Neverland, Yuki Yoshino in Food Wars, Katarina Claes in Hamefura, Hitomi Tadano, Himiko Kishi in Gorimi in Komi-san, Maho in Precon, Seika Ijichi in Bochi the Rock, Angel Devil in Chainsaw Man, Yuzuki Murashige in Skip and Loafer, Saint Shiva in Final Fantasy XIV, Miyu Hinasaki in Fatal Frame, CZ805 in GFL, Veronica in Dragon Quest XI, Hibiki in Azure Lane, Fischl in Genshin Impact, Pollux in FGO, and Epniel and Admi in Nikkei. Mudrock often talks about her past.
そこでうたた寝をしているのがドクターだ。覚えておけ。私たちと共に長い道を歩むことになる人だ。猿数の傭兵、マドロックだ。あなたがドクターか。何度もロドスに救われた身だ。今こそ恩義に報いさせてもらう。私はかつてレユニオンと呼ばれ、マドロック正体の名を冠していた。だが、今はかつての敵から勲功を賜ろうとしている。これが波乱万丈というものか？感謝状？ああ、昨日の猿数の職員たちか。私の装備とアーツ特性は力仕事に向いているから。それにしても建材も燃料もかなり重いのに、彼らはロドスの運行をその体で一心に担っているのだな。素晴らしいことだ。あのエリートオペレーター、リターニアで目にした不思議なアーツには度肝を抜かれたものだが、いともたやすく霧を払う姿を見て理解した。猿数として彼は若いが古のものであると、亡くなった戦士や仲間のことをよく 思い出す。そして時折、未だに逃げ惑っているかのような錯覚に陥る。ドクター、あなたはカズデルに行ったことはあるか？あそこは私の旅の起点であり、そして終点になる場所だと思っていた。ケルシー先生か。意外だが心強くもある。しかしロドスは他の傭兵部隊とも関係があるようだが、それについて話してくれないか、ドクター。知らない方がいい。そうか。ならば、誰のことか分かったかもしれない。私がロドスのオペレーターになったのは、彼らがきちんと治療を受け、生きていけるようにするためだ。そうすれば、戦士たちの死が無駄にならずに済む。私はロドスに来て初めて自分が何かのために戦っているということを実感したんだ。カズデルからリターニアに至るまで多くの烙印が被災者たちに刻まれた。そして彼らがやむを得ず武器を掲げたとき、自分にはもう何もないと気づいた。ドクターは私のことをどう見ている？信頼している？その信頼は私を生きながらえさせることができるのか？ドクター、しばらくそばにいてくれないか？カズデルのことを少し尋ねたい。ああ、友人たちもあなたのことは慕っている。
At E2 with everything maxed, Mudrock has 4,428 HP, 882 attack, 691 defense, 10 resistance, a 66-second redeploy time, 34 TP cost, 3 block, and a 1.6 second attack speed. She has the range of the tile in front of her. At max trust, she gets plus 500 HP and plus 60 attack. At max pot, she gets minus 2 DP, minus 4 seconds to redeploy, plus 29 defense, and a buff to her talent. Her first talent, Word of the Fertile Soil, every 9 seconds has Mudrock gain 1 shield, max of 3 shields, 1 granted upon deployment. When a shield is broken, she restores 22% of her max HP. Her second talent, which is unlocked at E2, Unshakable Solidarity, has Mudrock take 30% less damage from Sarkaz enemies. Mudrock has 2 base skills, with one being unlocked at E2. Her first base skill, Perseverance, when Mudrock processes an elite material, only 2 morale is consumed. Her second base skill, DIY Ori Rock, when she processes an Ori Rock type material, that is from cubes to the weird hexagon ones, the byproduct rate increases to 90%. Mudrock's first skill, Defense Up Gamma, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, lasting 40 seconds at all levels. At level 7, it starts with 10 SP and needs 35 to proc. At M3, it starts with 15 and needs 30. At level 7, she gets plus 60% defense, which brings it to 1,106. At M3, she gets plus 100% defense, which brings it to 1,382. Her second skill, Crag Splitter, gains SP when she's hit by an enemy and is auto-triggered. Both level 7 and M3 start with 0 SP, with level 7 needing 5 to proc, while M3 needs 4. At level 7, Mudrock's next attack restores 5% of her max HP and deals 210% physical damage to all surrounding enemies with a 30% chance to stun for 0.8 seconds. At M3, it restores 6% max HP, deals 270% damage, and stuns for 1.2 seconds. Same chance to stun. Her third skill, Bloodline of Desecrated Earth, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, lasting 30 seconds at all levels. At level 7, it starts with 12 SP and needs 29 to proc. At M3, it starts with 15 and needs 25. At level 7, when the skill is procced, Mudrock stops attacking and doesn't take damage for 10 seconds. During these 10 seconds, she's considered to be asleep, reducing the movement speed of enemies around her by 60%. After the 10 seconds, she stuns surrounding ground enemies for 3.5 seconds and gets a reduced attack interval, plus 100% attack, plus 50% defense, and the ability to attack all blocked enemies. At M3, she stuns for 5 seconds, gets plus 140% attack, and plus 80% defense. Look, if you haven't gotten Mudrock yet, you need to try to when she's a banner focus. Available in the gold search shop like she was a couple weeks ago, or even with the 6-star voucher that you purchase for whatever, like 30 bucks. Because she's one of the best defenders you can get. Huge HP and defense pool, talent that blocks damage 3 times max and heals her, and reduces damage from Sarkaz enemies. S1 that further increases her defense, S2 that restores health, can stun, and does AoE damage, S3 that slows enemies, does massive damage, and makes her attack quicker. She can solo hold lanes, solo stages, tank Londinium artillery, and practically do it all. There's no reason why you shouldn't get her. Get her to E2 and M3 her second skill. Not to mention her amazing base skills, which I never talk about in this section, giving you all that aura rock and reducing the amount of times you need to farm 1-7. But she's not perfect. Her DP cost, even with max pot, is huge. Her class doesn't allow direct healing from other units, instead relying on passive healing from ops like Perfumer and Angelina, or her own healing with the Breaking of Shields or S2. Her shields go as fast as they come, the stun chances are low for her S2, and the first part of her S3 stops her from attacking for 10 seconds, which is quite a while if you consider some stages. But really, all of these drawbacks aren't all that major, and shouldn't stop you from building her. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates. I also stream and are currently streaming the Resident Evil 2 remake, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well. There will be a teaser out tomorrow for next week's character summaries.